If you ever see a gas station that says, last stop for 70 miles, keep driving. I was about 4 hours into a 6-hour drive when I realized I needed to stop. Not just for gas, but because I was falling asleep at the wheel. My eyes kept drifting shut for half a second at a time. That thing where you blink, and suddenly you're 50 feet further down the road than you thought you were. I turned up the music and rolled down the window, but the cold air only helped for a few minutes. I needed caffeine. The highway was empty. I hadn't seen another car in at least 20 minutes. When I saw the glow of a gas station sign up ahead, I felt relieved. It was one of those old, independent places, not a chain. The kind that looks like it hasn't been updated since the 80s. A single building with 2 pumps out front and a hand-painted sign that said, last stop for 70 miles. I pulled in and parked at the pump. The lot was empty except for a beat-up truck parked around the side of the building. I figured it belonged to whoever was working the night shift. I got out, stretched my legs, and filled my tank. I paid at the pump and headed inside. I should have just gotten back in my car and left, but I needed that coffee, and I needed to use the bathroom. So I walked inside. The store was small. A few aisles of snacks and car supplies, a coffee station in the back corner with those glass pots that had probably been sitting on the burner for hours, a cooler full of sodas and energy drinks along the back wall. The lights were that harsh fluorescent kind that made everything look slightly off. The attendant was behind the counter. He was maybe 50, with thinning gray hair and a face that looked like it hadn't slept in days. He had the TV on, some late-night infomercial with the sound turned low. He looked up when I walked in, and something in his expression changed. Just for a second. Like he was surprised to see me, or worried. "Evening," he said. "Hey, just grabbing a coffee." I walked to the back and poured myself a cup. It was burnt and bitter, but I didn't care. I just needed the caffeine to get me through the next 2 hours. I grabbed a candy bar, too, and brought everything to the counter. The attendant rang me up slowly. He kept glancing past me toward the windows, toward my car. "Driving alone?" he asked. "Yeah." "Long trip?" "Few more hours." He nodded, but didn't say anything else. He was staring at the window again. I turned to look, but there was nothing out there. Just my car at the pump, the empty highway beyond. "Something wrong?" I asked. He looked at me for a long moment. Then he slid a piece of paper across the counter. A napkin. He had written on it in pen. "You're being followed. Don't go back to your car." I stared at the napkin. Then I looked back up at him. His face was completely serious. "What are you talking about?" He held up a hand. "Keep your voice down. Look at the monitor." He pointed to a small security screen mounted on the wall behind the counter. It showed a black and white feed of the parking lot. My car was there, and someone was standing next to it. My stomach dropped. The figure was on the passenger side, just standing there facing the store. I couldn't make out any features. They were wearing dark clothes, and their face was in shadow. I spun around and looked out the window. There was no one there, just my car. Empty lot, nothing. I looked back at the monitor. The figure was still there, standing in the same spot.